Russian withdrawal from the Treaty on Conventional Arms is strongly criticized by NATO. On Friday, NATO expressed its disappointment in Russia's decision to withdraw from the Conventional Forces in Europe (CFE) treaty and urged Moscow to change its mind. The military alliance stated in a statement that NATO allies condemn Russia's decision to withdraw from the landmark CFE treaty. In the statement, it is stated that the CFE is a cornerstone of Europe's security, and that Russia's latest decision is part of a series of actions that systematically undermines Euro-Atlantic security. Moscow's withdrawal further demonstrates Moscow's continued disregard for arms control, NATO said. Before Russia's withdrawal notice period ends, the alliance urged it to reconsider its decision and implement its commitments and obligations. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization reaffirmed its support for effective conventional arms control as a key element of Euro-Atlantic security. The Russian Foreign Ministry announced earlier on Friday that Russia will officially withdraw from the CFE treaty on November 7. In May, President Putin of Russia signed a decree authorizing the withdrawal, but the country had decided to halt its implementation in 2007. Russia is required to give 150 days' notice to all other signatories before formally withdrawing from the treaty. Representatives from NATO and the Warsaw Pact signed an agreement in 1990 to reduce military equipment as part of efforts to bring an end to the Cold War. Moscow's decision to withdraw from the New START nuclear arms treaty was announced in February. On Friday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky praised the bravery of his country's armed forces as fighting was reported to have escalated in the south, possibly signaling the beginning of Kyiv's long-awaited offensive. "For our troops, for all those fighting especially difficult battles right now," Zelensky said in his daily address, "we see your heroism, and we are grateful for every minute of your life." Ukrainian officials have stated that their armed forces are prepared to launch a counter-offensive to retake eastern and southern territory, but that there will be no public announcement prior to the offensive's launch. Earlier, Russian President Vladimir Putin said that the counter-offensive had begun but that efforts so far have failed, despite Moscow's claims that it had repelled a number of Ukrainian assaults. Ukraine has been relatively silent about the fighting, as promised. Zelensky avoided discussing the rumored counter-offensive or other developments on the battlefield in his daily address. "We focus our attention in all directions where our actions are needed and where the enemy may suffer certain defeats," he said. 2 varieties of IQF frozen fruit sold under the Alaska brand have been recalled by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency due to concerns of norovirus contamination. 1 and 5 kg packages of IQF whole raspberries and IQF antioxidant blend are included in the recall. Antioxidant blend has a best before date of October 11, 2023, while the affected raspberries have a best before date of August 15, 2024. Distribution of the frozen fruit included the provinces of Newfoundland and Labrador, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Quebec, and Ontario. Reports of illness have been linked to the fruit, prompting the Canadian Food Inspection Agency to launch a food safety investigation that could result in the recall of additional products. The agency notes that the typical incubation period for norovirus is 24 to 48 hours, but that symptoms can appear as early as 12 hours after exposure.